Hello and welcome to Engineering Watch Interactions. Today we have with us a very special guest, Mr. S.K. Dubey, the Managing Director at ONGC Tripura Power Limited Company. ONGC in India is the largest producer of crude oil and natural gas and dominates the exploration and production of crude oil and natural gas in India with an impressive 85% market share. It has the maximum number of exploration licenses, including competitive NELP rounds. ONGC owns significant natural gas reserves in the northeastern state of Tripura. However, these natural gas reserves are yet to be commercially developed due to low industrial demand in the northeastern region. The complexities of logistics and attendant costs limit the economic viability of transportation of gas to other parts of the country where gas is in deficit. In order to optimally utilize the gas available in Tripura, ONGC along with Infrastructure, Leasing and Financial Services, that is ILNFS, and Government of Tripura decided to establish a 726.6 megawatts gas-based combined cycle turbine power plant close to its gas fields in the state of Tripura. So today we are here to talk about this wonderful initiative project which claims to revolutionize the industrial development of northeastern region. So we welcome you, sir.
Okay.
My first question to you would be, what is it being the managing director? What is your outlook about this project? How is it going to transform the way power supply is done in the northeastern states?
You see, historically, northeastern region is a power deficit region.
Right.
There is a demand-supply gap, and their total peak demand is in the range of around 2,200 megawatt now, whereas the supply is in the range of around, is hovering around 1,800, 1,900 megawatt at the best. So you can appreciate that this region needs power injection.
Right.
And with that in view, and also to monetize the gas which has been explored and found by ONGC starting from early 90s, this project was conceptualized.
Okay.
And today we see the reality that this project has, after passing through a lot of hurdles, uncertainties and challenges,
Right.
this has come to a reality.
Right.
That's the way it is today.
Okay. So with that question in mind, I would like to ask you, what are the challenges that you've been facing to initiate this ongoing project, and how long do you think it will take for the successful outcome and completion of this project?
Yeah, the question is in two parts. One, the challenges,
Right.
and second, the timeline of this
Timeline.
project
Right.
will be completed successfully. So first part, I can just give you the synopsis of it. In the past, at least twice, in my knowledge, maybe more than twice, large power companies of this country looked at this project. This project means a project, gas-based combined cycle project, located in Tripura. They surveyed, but it has so happened that every time these power majors had to retract after considering the logistic challenges. Logistics in two counts. One, it's a very remote location.
Right.
Nothing is available. Everything has to be transported from the main plant, whether it is manpower resource or it is equipments,
Right.
materials, chemicals, spares. Second biggest challenge was how to transport large size equipments. We call it in technical terms over dimensional cargoes, ODC.
ODC.
You can't transport this type of equipments, large machines and equipments, on the mainland route via Guwahati, Shillong and all that.
Right.
Though road exists and many other things are moving.
Yes.
So these are the two challenges for which many large power companies, though they were very much willing to set up a project in Tripura, gas
Right.
west, they didn't take up
Take
such
up the
project.
initiative. Hmm.
Under this backdrop, ONGC took up this project along with the partners ILNFS and Government of Tripura. So this project was definitely full of challenges, but we have come across, and coming to your second part of your question, already one unit has been commissioned, and you
Okay.
must have read in newspapers or
Right.
in TV that Honorable President of India was kind enough to be in our project on 21st of June.
Yeah, recently.
And
yeah.
21st of June this year, just a month and about 5 weeks ago, and he dedicated the first unit to the nation. Second unit is in advanced stage of completion. We expect that within this calendar year, both the units will start generation in a regular manner. So you can say that within this calendar year, OTPC, ONGC Tripura Power Company Limited, we will be in a position to deliver 726 megawatt round the clock to the nation.
Right. So, in a very short span, very soon we are going to see a power boom in the northeastern parts of our country. So, that is a very good news here.
Of course, there will be power deficit to power supply.
Right. Right. So, sir, can you also enumerate certain breakthrough and or applied features that make this project innovative?
You see, the innovation point, if you ask me, it came, as I pointed out to you, that very large power companies, reputed power companies of this country couldn't succeed setting up this project, though they were very much willing, because of logistic challenges.
Right.
So that is one point of innovative or application of innovative ideas, how to make this project successful. It was done with the express intent and I would say active cooperation of Government of Bangladesh. The oversize over dimensional cargoes, ODCs, which could not be transported to the mainland route by Guwahati and Shillong, that is 19 numbers. So those ODC consignments, we took it, we brought it to Calcutta port.
Right.
From there, we transported through Bay of Bengal, entered into the Bangladesh water. We created a jetty in a place called Ashuganj, and there unloaded all these consignments, and thereafter from Ashuganj to Agartala, that is the capital of Tripura.
Right.
It's a border town. It is 50 kilometers.
Okay.
So for the first time in the history of Bangladesh, they allowed India for movement of Indian cargoes through their road.
Wow.
Inter-country river treaty exists. Indian ships, cargo vessels can move through Bangladesh water and vice versa. But there was no treaty between these two countries
Right.
which allows Bangladesh soil to be used for movement of Indian cargoes.
Wow.
So this was an idea which ultimately could be successful with the cooperation of both the countries,
Right.
with the intervention of both the governments at the apex level, and an MOU was signed on 29th of November 2010. Having said that, this is not the end of the story. Even to use this route, it needed engineering innovation, how to transport so many large size consignments, even to the extent we had to transport 28 meters long boiler tubes, which left alone cannot be transported.
Right.
So, from a technical innovation point, it was thought of how to reduce this problem. Then ultimately, it was, the lengthwise, it was from technical point of view, it was analyzed that what can be the optimum length which we should transport. There was a lot of engineering calculations for this, and ultimately we could succeed.
Wow, so that's a great success story. It is not only the government of India involved behind this project. We have also government of our neighbors, our very good neighbors, the government of Bangladesh also involved. Now this new development also took place, the signing of MOU, which had not been done previously, but it is due to this project that this MOU has been signed. So now, sir, I would like to ask you, how do you think would it add to the self-reliance of India in the power sector?
You see, it's a very good question. In fact, this project itself has opened a renew of thoughts in entire northeastern region, because there are certain fuel reserves in the whole of northeast, which people didn't think because of logistic challenges. So when they have seen that this project would materialize, they have also started thinking, probably today, tomorrow, there can be, even both the governments have started thinking that there can be, this is an eye-opener for two countries.
Right.
And for entire northeastern states. And there is a look-east policy of this region as a whole in the subcontinent, including Myanmar and all those, Bangladesh, Bhutan, Nepal, India.
Sikkim, yeah.
Sure, it fits in. Once it has been done, now the government, both the governments are in dialogue. If a regular transit corridor can be created, and northeast states have started thinking whether the natural resource available with them, whether it can be harnessed, or can be produced, or even not only power. This project has shown the way, not only for power. People have started thinking, why not to put up a fertilizer project?
Right.
And though requirement of fertilizer might be limited in northeastern region.
Right, because agriculture is the main source of revenue in Tripura, if you see that.
That is one.
Right.
But whole of northeast, if you take into consideration, their total deficit of which they import all the 7 states together, it's not of very high magnitude. But if you want to put up a fertilizer project, technically speaking, techno-commercially speaking, the minimum size of a fertilizer project you have to put up, that is 3 million ton. Otherwise it will not be economic. Right? So 3 million ton you cannot consume in northeastern states. So essentially it calls for export of your surplus. So where is the route? If you want to come via the mainland, it will be uneconomical.
Right.
So this is the transit route through Bangladesh. Maybe we can rope in Bangladesh. They are also importing fertilizer. Part of the fertilizer they can also consume, and balance through Bangladesh can be exported to any other country. So that's the way, is the economic cycle.
It's a whole chain.
Whole chain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, great. So, sir, my last question to you would be, could you please illumine us on the future readiness of this project? And the second part of the same question would be, what future does this project bring along for the power sector in India? The second part being, I think I would like you to evaluate more on the second part of the question.
Yes, in this project, if you look at this technical part of this project, salient features of this project, we are building up this gas-based project with the 9FA machines of GE model. Now, 9FA machines are one of the highest efficient machines in the world. Its efficiency level amongst gas-based gas turbines in the range of 52%, which is very high.
Right.
So that itself gives an advantage, number one.
Number two, it's a state-of-the-art technology, fully automated plant. The entire plant can be controlled sitting in one place, that is central control station, central control room. And the unique feature of this project is, in Indian scenario, everywhere we are facing problem about fuel shortage or fuel uncertainty. Whereas for this gas-based project, fuel is the main strength.
Right.
There is no question of fuel shortage. Fuel is from our main promoter, that is ONGC. And there is absolutely no uncertainty. So that makes this project unique. In the whole of this country, this is the only gas-based project which can boast of its fuel certainty and surety. So that gives an advantage and an edge over all other power projects in this country as far as OTPC plant in Palatana is concerned.
Great. So that's a firm project. The planning, the strategizing of the project has been done well, technologically as well as keeping the economic point of view in mind.
And price-wise, I can tell you, this project will be amongst all gas projects in the country. You just see next year, come April 2014, when the gas pricing of Rangaraj and committee will be implemented in our country, this project will produce one of the cheapest power in the country.
Great. So now this is one really good point that Sir has pointed out, that with so much of inflation and price hikes which we can see, whether it is in price, whether it is in fuel, the petrol prices, we keep on reading in our newspaper, every day the petrol prices are inflating day by day. So this is one good point, that this project is going to be one of the cheapest and one of the most unique projects in India. With that, thank you so much for this enlightening interaction and sharing your views about the project and how is it going to revolutionize India's story in the power sector. Thank you so much.